Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, a local attorney, and what you're about to watch is pretrial. Now, pretrial is the third court event in the process towards resolving a criminal case. The first was first appearance, the next was arraignment. Now we have pretrial to determine if the case is ready to proceed to docket day and potentially trial, or if it can't be worked out through plea or even dismissed. At pretrial, though, facts are not as important as they are in other hearings. In this case, it's procedural. The judge is going to bring in their entire docket to make sure that the attorneys are doing what they need to do to get the cases towards a just conclusion. Some of the cases you'll see are older, some are newer. On the older ones, you may see some tension as the judges are trying to make sure the cases are moving forward, but the stakes are getting high. So that's what pretrial is. Let's go see what happens.
Ms. Rivers, you have any out of custody?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. So one of them that I've already spoken to is Mr. Sands. Let me see where he is on the docket. It's an S. Your Honor, he is number 88 on the docket, or 89 on mine. David Clay Seffens, 23 CF 308, 23 CF 898. You want to come forward, sir? And Your Honor, I was going to go ahead and set the one case for trial, but I have had an opportunity now to speak with him for a few minutes. He has promised he is going to set an appointment with me. So at this time, we are going to request continuance in his case.
No objection, Your Honor. Would the court entertain modifying the bond to order him to appear in Ms. Rivers' office
Okay.
this week?
All right,
Or
August
within the next 2
28th.
weeks?
Yeah, meet with your attorney.
Yes, sir. I will.
Okay. Yeah, things go a lot better when you
Yes,
do.
sir.
All right, thank you.
But if we could do it at 8:28,
Yeah, no
8:28,
objection.
yeah.
meet with
Be
him.
here.
Call me. Yeah,
8:28.
yeah. But call me.
Thank you.
Next,
Your Honor, the next one I have that is out of custody is Gerald Parker. Gerald Parker, 23 CF 589.
all right. He's coming down.
He is number 72 on the docket. And if I may approach, Your Honor?
All right.
May I approach the score sheet, Your Honor?
Yeah. Mr. Parker, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? Mr. Parker, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court is the truth, so help you God? Okay. This is 23 CF 589, State versus Gerald Wade Parker. Mr. Parker, you want to enter a no contest plea to a driving with license suspended or revoked, a habitual with, it's a third-degree felony, and the state's going to dismiss counts 1 and 2, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to enter a no contest plea to those charges?
Yes,
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
what?
Did you read and sign this form?
Yes, sir.
You understand your rights you're waiving?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Has anyone threatened you or forced you to enter this plea?
Sir.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Rivers has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. You're adjudged guilty, sentenced to time served, $500 fine, $415 cost of court costs, $100 cost of prosecution, $150 PD fee, and you're adjudicated.
Your Honor,
So-
may he do community service for the fine if he can?
Yes. Community service, okay? Thank you.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. He's got to get your fingerprints out. Your Honor, the next one is number 106, Earl Ray Watson, 23 CF 344. Your Honor, I think we've reached an agreement in this matter.
All right.
What you want to do? You read over it now? All right. Your Honor, he just has to sign the plea agreement.
Okay.
Okay.
Paying $750. Is that going to be paid today?
Nope, you can go down to the clerk and make arrangements. You can set up a payment plan. If I may approach, Your Honor?
Yes. All right, this is 23 CF 344, State versus Earl Ray Watson. Mr. Watson, please raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear the testimony you give for this court's the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, you want to enter a no contest plea to the charge of, is it to both counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Possession of a controlled substance, third-degree felony, and carrying a concealed weapon, a misdemeanor. You want to enter a no contest plea to those charges, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Rivers has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Judge you guilty both cases. Both counts. Sentence you to credit for time served, $515 court costs, $100 cost of prosecution, $150 public defender fee. Adjudicated on both counts.
He's gonna have to take it. Your Honor, the next one, David Warren, number 105, 22 CF 3172. Your Honor, he is present and approaching. Going to request a continuance in this matter.
Did you say David Warren?
Warren, yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, August 28th. Thank you.
We need,
August 28th. Your Honor, the next one would be Alvin Williams,
Okay.
23 CF 472. He's number 108 on the docket, or on 108 on my docket. Your Honor, he is present. We are going to request a continuance. We do need to do depositions.
No objection.
August 28th. Thank you, Mr. Williams. August
Yes.
28th.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Okay. The next one, Your Honor, would be 109 Tiffany Don Williams. And Your Honor, we've reached an agreement in this matter.
Ms. Williams, please raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear the testimony you give for this court's the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
This is 23 CF 410, State versus Tiffany Don Williams. You want to enter a no contest plea to the charge of possession of a controlled substance, third-degree felony, and possession of drug equipment at first-degree misdemeanor. Is that correct? Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? You aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea? Are you under the influence of drugs or medication that prevents you from knowing what you're doing here today? You happy with the work Ms. Rivers done for you on your case? Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Judge you guilty. Sentence you credit for time served. $515 court costs, $100 cost of prosecution, $150 PD fee, and adjudicated both counts. Anything else?
That's it, Your Honor.
Oh, do we need a score sheet on that?
Score sheet.
Yes. Your Honor, next, if we could call number 82, Quasha Rodriguez. She is before the court on 22 CF 92, 22 CF 743. I have met with her, and we do need to set deposition, so I'm going to request a continuance at this time.
828. Thank you.
Next court date, August 28th, okay? Your Honor, the next one listed after her is Luis Rosales, number 83. We filed a waiver of appearance. We are requesting a continuance, one last continuance to 828.
828. Thank you.
Your Honor, the next one is number 84, Darren Rose.
Rose or Rhodes?
R-O-S-E.
Rose,
Your
okay.
Honor, he must be out there. We'll get back to him. I had talked to him about a waiver of appearance, but he said he was going to be here, so I didn't file it.
Okay, well,
See about addressing that. The next one, Your Honor, would be Justin Sanabria. '23 CF 684. We're requesting a continuance so we can set depositions, Your Honor.
August 28th. Thank you, sir.
The next one, right after that, Your Honor, is Kenshawn Scott. He's actually in custody. They did ask me if he was going to be continued to determine whether to bring him over because he's a max. We are asking for a continuance.
August 28th.
Your Honor, if next that we could address on the docket is number 96, Jamie Taylor. This case is actually closed, but I did want to bring up that I have received contact from Mr. Taylor, and he has two different criminal cases in Alabama, and community control is not allowing him to travel to Alabama without your approval. And so I'm requesting if the court would modify his sentence on the 4 cases, and I've got it printed out to hand to the clerk. 22 CF 1262, 23 CF 1194, 23 CF 671, 23 CF 670. We're asking if the court would modify his community control and allow him to travel to the state of Alabama to go to his court dates.
Ms. Rivers, was a motion filed for this?
Oh, no, it's on there for,
Your Honor,
it's already pled out. It's already been sent.
all fair with state probation. I am aware that Mr. Taylor has other court dates pending out of state, and the Florida Department of Corrections requires us to have Your Honor agree to let him travel out of state while on community control.
Oh, I don't have any objection to that.
All right.
That's all we're doing.
You got the paperwork for me to sign?
No, Your Honor, I can present one.
Okay, that's no problem. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes. Your Honor, the next one is Antonio Tice, number 99. On the docket, 23 CF 214. Your Honor, we We are trying to get all the information from Walton County, and then we're going to be setting depositions in both counties. So at this time, we're going to request a continuance.
Okay, August 28th. Thank you. sir.
Thank you.
Charles Velez. And I guess I'll call him again later. Jolie Waddle.
All right, we'll call him at the end.
Earl, did I call Earl Watson? Your Honor, that's all I have for right now. I need to speak with the rest of the people.
Okay, Mr. Williams, you got some out
Who?
of custody?
Oh, I've got my inmates. I'm ready.
You, Mr. Mobley?
Yes, sir.
Justin?
No, Alan.
Okay.
All right, Your Honor. This is Alan Mobley, 22 CF 3079 and 23 CF 821. We're prepared to withdraw our plea under plea of not guilty and tender a plea of no contest. If I may approach with a written offer of plea.
All right, dear Alan R. Mobley,
Sir.
would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for is course of truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You want to enter a no contest plea to the charge of possession of ammunition or firearm by a convicted felon, driving license suspended or revoked, second conviction, that's a first-degree misdemeanor. The first one was a second-degree felony. And possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, that's second-degree felony. So that is 22 CF 3079, the first possession case. 22 CF 3079 is count 2 of that case. And 23 CF 821, possession of ammo by a convicted felon or firearm. So you want to enter a no contest plea to those charges. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Keats has done on your case for you?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
The court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Court adjudicates on all cases, all counts, guilty on case number 22 CF 3079. You're sentenced to time served. On 20. Let's see, that is, that is time served on count 2 in that case. And then on the felonies, on the 2 felonies, you are sentenced to time served also, is that correct?
No, Your Honor. He's, for the purpose of, on the misdemeanor count, which is count 2 in 22 CF 3079, he's sentenced to time served. On the 2 felony counts, he's going to be sentenced to 2 years of community control, followed by 2 years probation to run concurrent.
I got it. Okay, I see what you did. Okay, 2 years community control, followed by 2 years regular probation. Your sentences shall run concurrently. As a condition of probation, you shall enter within 30 days to complete a drug evaluation and any follow-up treatment within 60 days. Subject to random UAs, no possession or consumption of drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Perform 75 hours community service work with the option of buyout 40 hours at $10 an hour. forfeit the firearm and ammunition as currently in evidence. You shall pay fines and costs and fees of $515, fines and court costs per case, $150 legal assistance fee, $100 cost of prosecution in 22 CF 3079, and $100 legal assistance fee and $100 cost of prosecution in 23 CF 821. Has that got it? Okay, thank you, sir.
Hold on, Mr. Mobley.
We request the supervision fees be waived, Your Honor.
All right, granted.
And just for clarification with the court, we will refer him for treatment, but we can't ensure that Bridgeway can start seeing him.
All right, well, within 60 days or as soon as Bridgeway can see him.
Yes, we will make
Okay.
sure we refer him within that period of time.
All right. Okay, Mr. Williams or Mr. Gibbs, out of custody, please.
I'm working, Judge, on getting a list of mass continuances, but I have others that I can call.
Okay. Ms. Flowers, you want to come on up? Okay.
I have just one in custody, two out of custody. This is Dallas Dodd on the 130 docket. 21 CF 2383. And this is my first time up. I've recently been appointed the case. We're asking for continuance.
No objection.
Okay, 828, please, sir. Thank you.
Kimberly Cohn. Your Honor, this is Kimberly Nicole Cohen, 22 CF 1460. Your Honor, I'd like to leave her on for docket day without subpoenas to
All right.
get the offer from the state and meet with her.
That will be July 3rd. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sonia Watts. Sonia Watts is present and approaching 23 CF 678. This one I'd also like to leave set for docket day for a potential resolution.
July 3rd, Ms. Watts, thank you.
And that's all I have. May I be excused? Thank you. Oh. Okay, Brittany Way is incarcerated in Walton County. We did a transport order at the last pretrial or the last court date, but she still has not been transferred, so I'm going to make some calls now. I thought she would be here today.
She's still in Walton County?
Yeah. As of
What you want to do, continue
Last
to
week.
August 28th? August 28th?
can we just put it on the 3rd too? And I'll see if they can.
July 3rd, thank you.
And then the other one, Collis, we were just appointed on, I think, like yesterday. We've identified a conflict. I think my secretary's already filed a motion to withdraw. So, but I would ask to continue for there to be counsel, non-conflict counsel.
August 28th, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Williams, are you
Yes,
wanting
Judge.
to come up? Okay.
Doremus Holden, I've got some I can call, Judge. I've got some I'm working on.
Mr. Holden?
Yes, sir. Doremus, Dareemius. He's out in the hallway? Oh, okay. Judge, I'm going to move to continue. This will be the second time up. He sat with my investigator last week, or we made an appointment last week for him to come in and meet with my investigator, look over the discovery.
No objection.
August 28th, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Robert Hall.
Robert Hall. Is it Hall?
Robert Hall?
All right, we'll call him later. Next one.
Jerry Hawkins.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, I've got a notation that his PD application was incomplete. Did he go over and finish that and fix the issue? Okay. Judge, I'm going to move to continue it anyway, and sir, if you'll swing by downstairs and go ahead and make sure that issue's resolved, okay?
All right, make sure you get your application filled out so we can get you an attorney.
He's indicating he turned it in, but it may not have gotten scanned in. It would depend on when you turned it in.
Now, I'm sorry, Your Honor, if I may, it's a 2021 case. Can we set it for docket day next week instead of just the whole cycle?
Judge, we can set it for call on that date. It may be a 2021 case, and it may be that we had him prior to my coming on board, but my file's new, and the first notation on it is from his April arraignment.
What's his charge?
Possession of controlled substance, driving while license suspended, and possession of paraphernalia.
And it also looks like I don't have a discovery exhibit.
July 3rd.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, all right, so instead be in here on July 3rd, but go ahead and swing by and fix that, okay? All right. Is Mr. Hall in yet? Robert Hall? Okay. Joshua Johnson?
Is this Mr. Hall or Johnson?
This, Johnson, Joshua Johnson, 23 CF 379. Mr. Johnson, did we? Do you mind if I date that for you?
Mr. Johnson, please raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear the testimony you give for this course the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
I'll print the score sheet. Is it
Okay. Go staple for mine.
All right, this is 23 CF 379, State versus Joshua Johnson.
Just for
All
the
right,
court's
Mr.
awareness,
Johnson.
he scores some, like 26 total sentence points.
That's correct.
Mr. Johnson, you want to enter a plea of no contest to possession of a controlled substance. Count 1, possession of a controlled substance. Count 2, both those third-degree felonies. Possession of paraphernalia, first-degree misdemeanor. Count 3. You want to enter a no contest plea to those charges. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir, I did.
You understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, I understand.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You happy with the work Mr. Williams done on your case for you?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. On count 1 and 2, you're judged guilty. 18 months probation concurrent. $615 court costs. Substance abuse evaluation. No, let's see. No community service, is that what you're?
No, there'd be no controlled substances, Judge.
Okay, no control. You gotta write a little bit better, Mr. This looks like Egyptian.
That's why I normally type them up, Judge.
All right, it's, okay, random UAs. $100 cost of prosecution, $150 PD fees. And on count 3, your time, judge guilty, time served. Is that what that means? That
Yes, sir.
symbol down there? Okay. All right. All right, thank you, sir.
Supervision fees waived, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next one, Mr. Williams.
Stacy Johnson.
Stacy Johnson? Okay. We got 2 Stacy Johnsons?
It should be Stacy M Johnson.
Okay.
Judge, I'm going to move to continue the case. It looks like it's the second time up. No?
August 28th, thank you. Thank you, Miss Stacy M. Johnson.
Ma'am, come by the office, we'll go over discovery, okay?
Next case.
Jones, Manyeiijah.
Ms. Jones, is that right?
Yes, sir, Ms. Jones. Hey, Ms. Jones. Sorry, I'm just going to always mess up.
Okay.
Judge, I'm going to move for a continuance on it. Looks like the second time up.
No objection.
August 28th.
Yeah, swing by the office or make an appointment. Virginia Coles, Kohl's. Kohls.
You want to put some of these cases on miscellaneous, because it seems like we're getting rather overwhelmed on August 28th.
I can do
You want
that,
to
Judge.
try to do some of these on miscellaneous days?
Yes, sir. Judge, I've not met Ms. Coles as yet. She's the lady I described last time. She has difficulty communicating. It looks like it's because of a stoma. And I believe she's wheelchair-bound. I don't see her approaching. I will note she was not in court last time, and I appeared for her at arraignments.
Well,
I'll ask for a capious, Your Honor. I have
Capious.
a misdemeanor offer for her, and
oh, you
she's not
do?
showing up.
Well,
I can try to...
I'll tell you what, just because I can take a misdemeanor plea without her showing up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but we have to, no, Your Honor, she didn't show up last
You
time.
don't want to do that? Okay. All right, maybe she'll,
You want to set it for next docket
we'll
day?
do it, we'll do a no bond capious, but set her for,
You want
We
to make
got
it no bond pending first appearance? Want the
yeah,
first appearance, Judge?
yeah, I'll do that. And we'll set it for July 25th, and if you can get it resolved, we can move it up. How about
Well,
that?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, if there is a capias issued, we cannot set it until she gets arrested, processed, and all of that. She wouldn't have a
Okay.
notice.
Well, all right, I'm just going to issue a capias pending first appearance.
Thank you, Judge.
No bond pending first appearance. And then we'll just do the best we can. I mean, if she,
Mark, Kuktelions, Kuktelions.
Call him at the end, I'll give him a chance to show up, otherwise it's going to be a capias.
Judge, I have met with him. He did come into my office and meet with me one time, but I don't know where he is today.
Who's this gentleman?
Oh, that's him.
Come on up. You almost got a capias. Don't wear shorts next time you come to court. You'll be in jail.
Judge, I'll move to continue the case. I believe this is the first time up.
No objection.
August 28th.
We can do a phone appointment if you want, but make another appointment for us.
Video evidence coming in.
I can't tell from looking at this. I got to pull it up on the computer.
Thank you.
All right, and what I guess would be the third time, Robert Paul.
Robert Hall.
Is he not here?
Judge, I don't, he doesn't answer the call. The
No
court, I
bond
believe they checked
capias.
outside.
We have seats in here. I don't know why they... This, let's see, who else we got? Mr. Gibbs around here somewhere?
I have a list of continuances I can call, Judge, that
All right,
might help
well-
clear a lot of folks out.
Okay.
I'm going to list their names, Judge. We'll confirm that they're, of course, here.
Okay.
I believe most of these
Yeah,
individuals are.
I'm just trying to help move
and I'll
this.
let-
We only have about 350 people,
I know.
400 people.
Judge,
All right.
the list that I have so far for continuances, first, Judge, I have Nicholas Adkins. He is present, Judge. This is 23 CF 373, 23 CF 531. Request continuance to next trial cycle.
August 28th, thank you.
Thank you. Judge, the next I have is Ellie Ainsworth. She's an inmate, 23 CF 178. Request next trial cycle. Believe
It's not my
that's-
case.
I believe that's it. Yeah.
Okay, August 28th.
Next I have Judges Courtney Ard. Present, Judge, 23 CF 862, 23 CF 863, request 828.
Objection.
She stood up there. Okay. Judge, next is Churcheldra Barnes. Churcheldra Barnes. We'll revisit her later, Judge. Next, I have Jack Barr. He's an inmate, 23 CF 1016, 22 CF 1851, request 828.
Objection.
828.
Thank you, Judge. Next is Alexander Barrios. Please stand up, sir, so we make sure you're here. Thank you. Judge, he's here on 22 CF 2631, 22 CF 980, request 828.
828, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Next is Jerry Blackshear, Judge. There's a waiver filed for him. I have spoken with him, 22 CF 2009, request 828.
828, thank you.
Thank you. Next, Judge, is Bobby Joe Booker, 23 CF 185, 23 CF 388. Judge, she is present. I'd recognize her. Request 828.
No objection.
All right, 828.
Next is Dennis Brooks, 23 CF 1000. Mr. Brooks, he's present, Judge. Request 828.
No objection.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brooks, 828.
Connie Brown Menzies, 21 CF 1410. She's present. Request 828.
828, thank you.
Urcelia Campbell, 22 CF 3160. Ms. Campbell, I do recognize Ms. Campbell. She's present, Judge. Request 828. Jonathan Cantwell. Jonathan Cantwell. We'll revisit Mr. Cantwell later, Judge. Hunter Carmichael, he's an inmate, Judge. 23 CF 585, request 828.
Objection.
All right, 828.
Gregory Carroll, 22 CF 1986. There's a waiver on file. Request 828.
No objection.
Rocky Carter, 23 CF 80, 22 CF 2905, 22 CF 2765, 21 CF 1897. He's an inmate. Request 828.
May I, just for this one,
That's,
reason?
we should have depots done by next
Oh,
cycle.
okay.
That's mostly what we need is depots
All right.
on that one, on that new one.
No objection.
828.
Timothy Carter, should be a waiver on file, 21 CF 2874. We have one last bit of depots to do, request 828.
All right, 828.
Frederick Carruthers, 22 CF 3038, 23 CF 755, 23 CF 798. He's an inmate, Your Honor, request 828.
828.
Thank you. Christopher Cole, 23 CF 187. Mr. Cole?
Yes, sir.
He's present. Judge requests an appointment, 828.
Make sure you see your public defender, Mr. Cole, 828.
Next, Judge, I have John Cooper, 23 CF 999. Is there a John Cooper present? Oh, that's right, he is in jail. Thank you. He's an inmate, Judge, 828 requested.
All right.
No objection.
See, if y'all get these cases resolved, let's move them up to some of
Absolutely, Judge.
our other docket, our other miscellaneous days.
Certainly.
Okay.
Next, Judge, I have is Jonathan Corey Davis, 22 CF 2802. He's an inmate, Judge, working on getting the alleged victims on this one, so request 828.
828, thank you.
Next is Horace Durden, 22 CF 2587. Mr. Durden? Mr. Durden is present. Request 828, Judge. We're getting one last couple depots done, and we'll be ready.
No objection.
All right, 828.
Next, Judge, I have Jolanta Durham, 23 CF 591. He's an inmate. It's a newer case. We'll need depositions to get started, so request 828.
No objection.
All right, 828.
Next, I have Brandon Dykes, 21 CF 1811, 21 CF 1909, waiting on our experts. He's on the case. Request 828.
No objection.
All right, 828.
Cody Farrell, also an inmate, 23 CF 1084, 22 CF 2036. This is first time up, Judge, on the new case, so we're asking for 828.
No objection.
All right,
Next, I have James George, 20 CF 269, 22 CF 193. Judge, he's in federal custody, so we request 828.
No objection.
okay.
Billy Grace, 23 CF 1048, 22 CF 304. This is a newer case on the new law, Judge. Waiver is filed. He's an inmate. Request 828.
No objection.
All right,
And then the last one I have, Judge, is Adam Truman, 22 CF 2818. We are working on resolution. We'll likely need to get depositions done on this one.
No objection, 828.
all right.
That's what I have. That's the mass continuances I have for the moment, Judge.
All right,
Thank you.
well, that didn't hardly clear out anybody. So, who?
Or the ARD? Yeah. They need to see.
Mr. Russell, you got cases?
I got one out of custody I can call Judge Robert Strauss. Mr. Strauss is present and approaching. He's number 118 on my docket. Case number is 21 CF 247, asking for a continuance to take a deposition.
Without objection, Your Honor. That
All right.
deposition's set already.
828, thank you.
Judge, are we going back to 9 o'clock, even on our case?
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Judge, I do have a Kelly Ellis that I'd like to call as well for a continuance.
she here?
She's sitting right
All
here,
right.
Judge. This is 22 CF 1842. We still need a deposition of the alleged victim in this case, Judge.
828.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I have a number of continuances. Some of them are in custody and some of them are out.
All right,
If we go straight down the list, the first continuance is number 66, Tyler O'Quain. I did a waiver of appearance for him. He's 66 and 67.
all right. 828.
The next one is number 68, Ruben Ordonza Mendoza, and we're requesting a continuance on that one.
All right.
The next one, I believe I have a plea agreement written up for. Victoria Palmer. Your Honor, she's before the court on 23 CF 437, 23 CF 400. I have a written plea agreement, if I may approach.
All right. Ms. Palmer, would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? You swear the testimony you You swear the testimony you give before this court is true, so help you God?
Sir.
Okay. This is State of Florida versus Victoria Ann Palmer, 23 CF 400 and 23 CF 437. Is this a plea to all counts? All right. Ms. Palmer, in 23 CF 400, you want to plead no contest to possession of a controlled substance, a third-degree felony, possession of drug equipment, a first-degree misdemeanor, driving license suspended, a first-degree misdemeanor, and in 23 CF 437, battery on a detainee, a third-degree felony. You want to plead no contest to those charges. Is that correct? Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea? Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
Sir.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Rivers has done for you on your case?
Sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Sentence you to 1 year probation, have a substance abuse evaluation, and complete any recommended counseling, not to possess or consume alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription, random UAs, $515 court costs on 23 CF 400, $100 cost of prosecution times 2, $100 PD fee times 2, $50 PD application fee on 23 CF 400. Waive cost of supervision on each case. No contact with Jada Jimenez. $967 court costs on 23 CF 437. And it's all concurrent, right? Everything's concurrent. Okay. Adjudicated. Yes, on everything. All right? Thank you.
Thank you. You'll have to meet with him.
Your Honor, the next one on the docket is number 72, Nathaniel Parker, 23 CF 206. We've reached an agreement in this matter, if I may approach.
All right. Mr. Parker, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? Are you Nathaniel Parker? You swear the testimony you give before this court is the truth, so help you God? Thank you. This is State of Florida versus Nathaniel Parker, 23 CF 206. Mr. Parker, you want to enter a plea to a lesser included offense misdemeanor battery. Is that correct? Enter a no contest plea. Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? You aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea? Does anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea? Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today? Are you happy with the work Ms. Rivers has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it, adjudicates you guilty, sentence you to credit for time served, 667 court costs, $50 cost of prosecution, $100 PD fee, reserve on restitution for 120 days. Anything further? Thank you.
Your Honor, the next one is Adam Dale Parkinson. He's an inmate. That's number 73. That would be 17 CF 3022 and 23 CF 805. We're requesting continuance.
Any objection, Miss? Okay, 828.
Your Honor, the next one I have, I'm going to skip for now because we're going to need to bring him out. So the next one would be, next couple ones. Charlotte Prattley.
Charlotte Prattley?
I guess we'll try again, Your Honor. The next one after that, number 78, Marlon Reynolds. He is number 78, and he is in federal custody, 19 CF 1553, 20 CF 1432, 21 CF 432, and 22 CF 17. Your Honor, if we could set those for August 28th.
All right, okay.
Your Honor, the next one is Sixto Rivera. That would be 22 CF 1214, 22 CF 1222. Your Honor, I believe he is present and approaching. Your Honor, we would ask to continue this until the 29th.
29th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, June 29th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
It's been over a year.
Yes,
Pardon?
Your Honor.
It's been over a year and no one has done anything. I can't even see my children.
Okay,
This
June
woman
20,
already requested to quit, to not do her job, to not defend me for the 29th. With outdated information.
well, we
Last
got,
time-
the
last
next
time-
court date is June 29th.
Yes, because she requested to not defend me anymore.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, that's what she requested, to not defend me. She, I guess, looked at the evidence, and she picked some outdated information from February, stating that I made too much money, even though the people here had said that there were no issues. She is requested to not defend me, which is what I said. It was a concern, because no attorney wants to.
June 29th.
Roger that, Your Honor.
June 29th.
Your Honor, the next case is Devin Robbins. We did a waiver of appearance for him. We would ask that he get set for the first court date in June. Is it July 3rd? Yeah, that's fine.
The first court date in July is July 3rd.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm a butt behind. Your Honor, Samuel Allen, he's an inmate. We are requesting a continuance in that matter.
August
Sorry,
28th.
Samuel Roberts.
Who was it?
Samuel Allen Roberts.
August 28th.
Your Honor, Darren Rose is present now. I did see him, so if we could call him again, 23 CF 333. Your Honor, he has met with me. We are going to need to do depositions in this matter. I would request a continuance till 8/28.
No objection.
All right. 8/28.
Your Honor, the next case would be number 85, Dylan Sabo. Your Honor, I met with him outside in the lobby. I explained to him that the state would most likely be requesting that his bond be modified to meet with me so we can go ahead and go forward on this case.
Yes, Your Honor, state would make a more tennis motion to modify the defendant's bond to order him to make contact with his public defender to discuss the possible offer and possible trial status.
If you don't meet with her, I'm going to revoke your bond and put you in jail so they can find you. What do you want to do?
Your next court date's 8/28.
8/28, thank you.
Yep. 9 a.m. Your Honor, the next one is similarly situated, and that would be David Clay Seffens, 23 CF 308, or 308, and 23 CF 898. Did we? Okay. Bond was modified? Good, all right. Robert Self, that would be number 89. 23 CF 442. Your Honor, he has previously met with me. I did explain to him a little while ago that the state did reject his counteroffer. He would like to meet again and discuss his options, so at this point, I am going to request a continuance to 8/28.
No objection.
All right, if you get it resolved, move it up. Thank you, sir.
Stephen Sykes, number 94, 23 CF 79.
We'll call him again in a few minutes.
Okay. Tamika Tassin. Oh, Your Honor, I did not see her, so I am going to need to talk to her, so if we could just readdress her in a
Okay.
few minutes. Vanessa Tejo, Your Honor, is number 97 on the docket. She has 3 cases. We are requesting continuance to 8/28 on that matter.
828.
The next one is number 98, Paul Derek Treaster, 23 CF 302. To sign it. If this is what you want to do, you need to sign it right here, okay? We may have a moment, Your Honor, he's just signing it.
Your Honor, while the defendant's signing, may the state make an ordinance motion to amend the information to reflect, it's only one count, count 1. Currently says methamphetamine and/or fentanyl. However, the lab results resulted in oxycodone. So if the state could just make a motion to reflect oxycodone instead of fentanyl for purposes of the plea.
Okay, you don't have any objection to that, do you?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
Yep. Okay.
Is it Treaster? Okay. Mr. Treaster, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for us course of truth, so help you God? This is 23 CF 302, State versus Paul Treaster. You want to enter a no contest plea to possession of a controlled substance, a third-degree felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, a first-degree misdemeanor, correct? Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea? Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea? Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today? Are you happy with the work Ms. Rivers has done on your case for you? Okay. Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Judge you guilty on both counts. $515 court cost, $100 cost of prosecution, $150 PD fee, and credit for time served. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
He's going to have to fingerprint you. Your Honor, the next one would be Charles Velez. Oh, there he is.
All right.
Your Honor, if we can pass him for just a few minutes, I need to talk to you about something before we go forward. Okay. Jolie Waddle, number 102.
Did you say Joey?
Yes, Your Honor.
Joey Waddles. We'll call him back in a few minutes.
Right. Deontay Wingate.
Deontay Wingate.
Your Honor, the next one is 112, Terry Young. We did a waiver of appearance. We are requesting a continuance in that matter.
Without objection, Your Honor.
828.
Your Honor, the remaining people I either need to speak to or are in custody and need to
Okay.
come out.
Is there anyone else out here that we can take a plea on or continuance? Do we have arraignments?
Your Honor,
No, Your Honor, we don't.
Your Honor,
Why are there so many people? I mean, yeah.
Your Honor, from this morning, I need to address number 133, Angel Trowery. We filed a waiver of appearance, and we request it to be put on 8/28.
No objection.
8:28, okay.
And if
You want to take a recess? Pardon?
Yeah.
Inmates? Okay, good.
My inmates are ready, so
All right.
that's what he's saying, so I'm good. Mr. Oglesby, I believe, would be first.
Whose clients are these out here in the audience? We got a packed,
No, 2 of them are mine. Yeah. 2 of them are mine, but the rest.
Russell, are these, any of these your clients?
The rest of mine goes in
Mr. Williams, are all these people out here your clients?
I don't know, Judge. A lot of them are. A lot of them I either haven't seen or they were out of town and
You
were
ready
going
to
to
take
meet
a
up with me
plea?
today.
Ready to take pleas or continuance, whatever?
Uh,
I mean, the inmates, they're not really going to go anywhere typically. But I got all these packed courtroom. I'd like these people to be able to go about their business.
Judge, I have out of custody that I can start calling again.
All right.
You taking care of Block Truman yet?
Yes, continue.
Continue, okay.
All right.
Judge, starting back at the top for those that are out of custody. First, Judge, I have Stephen Arp. Judge, he is present and approaching. I hadn't had a chance to speak with him earlier, Judge, but I am going to ask to continue his case to 8/28. I need an appointment with him.
Stephen Hart.
Arp, yes, 22 CF 1833.
No objection to a continuance, but.
All right, 8/28.
Thank you, Judge.
Attorney before the next court date.
Yeah, see your attorney before August 28th, okay? I'll have to revoke your bond.
Yeah.
Judge, well, never mind.
Next, Judge, I have Brandon Burdett. Judge, Mr. Burdett is present and approaching. This is 22 CF 2160. Judge, I believe we are going to set this for trial this cycle, so we'll be back on docket day.
July 3rd. July 3rd, okay?
July 3rd, Judge.
What's he charged with?
Judge, he's got a possession of controlled substance as well as a DUI. We had been negotiating that, had done some depositions, but under the circumstances, Mr. Burdett has decided that he would like to go to a trial on these charges.
Spell his last name.
Burdette.
All right, we'll have a trial.
Thank you, Judge.
July 3rd. Thank you.
Try to meet with me on Fridays. Give me a call. Just give me a call anytime that day. Next, Judge, is Akeem Calloway.
Akeem Calloway.
He's in Walton County Jail, is what we've been told. Well, then I'll go confirm that and call him back later. Next, Judge, out of custody, I'm going to be calling Shakira Clayton. Ms. Clayton is present and approaching, Judge.
Shakira Clayton.
Judge, we have a written plea if I may approach.
All right. Ms. Clayton, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this course the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
This is State versus Shakira Clayton, 23 CF 875. You want to enter a no contest plea to misdemeanor battery, a lesser included offense of felony battery. Is that correct, Mr. Gibbs?
That's the agreement,
A
Judge.
misdemeanor, correct?
Misdemeanor, yes.
Okay. Ms. Clayton, did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Gibbs has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it, adjudicates guilty, 12 months probation, $100 cost of prosecution, $622 court cost, $150 PD fee. Batters Intervention Program, no contact with Sylvia Black. Restitution to Sylvia Black, and the court reserved jurisdiction on that for 90 days. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Adjudicated guilty. Is that it?
No, that's everything, Judge.
Thank you. Yes.
And Judge, going back to Mr. Callaway from just a few minutes ago, the deputy was able to confirm to me that he is indeed in Walton County Jail as of now, so I would request to continue his case to 8/28.
8/28.
Thank you, Judge. Next, Judge, I have Mr. Ronald Collins. Judge, Mr. Collins is present and approaching 22 CF 2265, 22 CF 2266. Judge, I'm under the impression that we should be getting statements from the alleged victims in this case that will make their positions a little bit more clear to us as far as if they would like to drop the cases or if their statements have changed. I would like to put him for July 3rd without subpoenas to see if we can make that happen.
Okay, July 3rd. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, next I have Amanda Craddock. Your Honor, Ms. Craddock is present and approaching 23 CF 738. I need an appointment with Ms. Craddock. I'd like to continue this to 8/28.
No objection.
8/28. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. It'll be at 9 o'clock next time. Yeah. Next, Your Honor, I have Dante Corey.
Dante Corey?
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor. This is 23 CF 16. Judge, I need an appointment with Mr. Corey as well. We're asking for a continuance to 8/28.
No objection.
All right, Mr. Corey, 8/28. Thank you, sir.
Next, Judge, I have Ms. Brittany Eveland. Judge, Ms. Eveland is present and approaching. We do have a written plea if I may approach.
Ms. Evelyn, would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? I swear the testimony you give for us, court's truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
This is 23 CF 164, State versus Brittany Eveland. You want to enter a no contest plea to the charge of possession of controlled substance, meth, a third-degree felony, and possession of prescription drugs, a second-degree misdemeanor. Is that correct? Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea? Are you happy with the work Mr. Gibbs has done for you on your case? Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today? Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Sentences you to time served, $100 cost of prosecution, $515 court costs, $150 PD fee, due within 180 days. Adjudicated guilty on the count 1 and not adjudicated on count 2.
Very well, thank you, Judge.
Stay away from that meth. You have a very, very short life expectancy.
Next, Your Honor, I have Mr. Caleb Goad. He may have stepped to the restroom, Judge. Bradley Standard.
Bradley Standard, okay.
Judge, this is Mr. Standard in 21 CF 3108. We've done some depositions. We've even done a deposition to perpetuate testimony on the lead investigator in Mr. Standard's case. I am in desperate need of an appointment with him to go over what his options are and what we'd like to do. I am going to request a continuance, but the state may not agree to that.
Mr. Bradley Standard will agree to that, but would require to meet with you.
828. If you don't meet with your attorney, I have no option but to put you in jail.
Yes, sir.
So that he can meet with you.
Yes.
Wouldn't you rather just go meet with him than
Yes.
sit? Okay.
Call today to schedule an appointment. And Your Honor, I believe that concludes all of my out of custody.
All right.
If I have anybody else that is out of custody, please meet me outside.
Anyone else out of custody? Mr. Williams, Mr. Russell? Well, why don't we take a, how many inmates we got? 1,000?
Judge, let me call Jason Kuntz, and maybe we can get at least some of the kids' house people out of here.
Jason Kuntz, okay.
That's correct. Judge, I had a evaluation done on Mr. Kuntz, a risk assessment done that I want to provide to the state. I believe we've gotten all the depositions taken at this point, though. I'm going to ask to continue it one more time.
There's no objection.
828, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'll give you a call.
Okay, sounds good. Teresa Keene? Okay.
King or Keen?
Keene, Judge, Keene.
Need that paper.
No, oh, yes, ma'am, I do. Well, you can use mine. Here, you can just use mine. That's fine. Ma'am, if this is what you want to do, and you don't have any further questions, go ahead and sign right there. Okay, I'll date it for you.
Yes, sir, it is. What did you do about it?
You said to put down to reduce it to a judgment.
She was okay. The 1,300, okay.
Is that what it is, the 1,300?
That's what he stated in the, yes.
Ma'am, you understand that? And I'm just going to note that on here.
All right. Ms. Keene, would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court's the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
This is State versus Teresa Lynn Keene, 23 CF 434. You want to enter a no contest
No
plea?
contest, Judge, to,
One count of misdemeanor worthless check, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
that's what we have, Judge.
All right. Ms. Keene, did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
You aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea? Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea? You happy with the work Mr. Williams has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
Sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Adjudication is withheld. Misdemeanor court costs, prosecution and defense costs, misdemeanor prosecution defense costs. You make payment arrangements with the clerk or send to collections. Restitution is reduced to judgment, and that is it $130 or
No, sir, it's $1,300. It's
$1,300? Okay. All right, anything further?
No, Your Honor, not
Thank
from
you.
the defense. Yeah, go to the clerk's office. Yeah, please do. Please do.
Judge, I ended up skipping Mr. Brian Crocker just a few minutes ago. Mr. Crocker?
Yeah, are y'all, on that last one, she had 4 counts. Y'all dismissing 2 through 4?
I believe the intent is for 2 through 4 to be consolidated into the one count that she pled to.
Yeah, basically, yes. And one, she pleads to a lesser included, and the other 3 get dismissed.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is Mr. Brian Crocker, Tim Gibbs on his behalf, 23 CF 626, 22 CF 978, 22 CF 1950. Judge, I'm asking for a continuance. I need an appointment with Mr. Crocker.
Okay, 828. Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
And I believe there's a couple people that I had already filed waivers for. You're good to go. Ms. Tricheltra Barnes, I did file a waiver for her, so would request 828.
Ms. Barnes,
That's 23 CF 701.
okay.
And then I had a Gladys Chansey, 16 CF 1505, Judge. I believe I filed a waiver as well as filed a motion to continue. I'm not sure if the court filed that order to continue her to December 7th, but the clerk's nodding her head correct, so I believe
All
she's
right.
already off docket.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Any other cases out there?
Judge, I'll go ahead and call Devin Miller.
Evan Miller, okay.
Judge, I need to get Mr. Miller in to go over the probation offer with him. If we can pass the case, if you want to pass this one to a miscellaneous date, this would be a good one for that.
June 29th,
That's fine, Judge.
okay.
Can you come in and see me before the 29th?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, any other,
Sheriff, she's here, but she is pro se. Kimberly Cohen.
Kimberly Cohen? What's she charged with?
It's a PTI recall.
Kimberly Cohen. What was her original charge?
Child neglect.
No bond capias.
Judge, I can call Terry McMullen.
Terry McMullen.
That's case number 22 CF 2825.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and sign there. Madam Prosecutor, I believe this is as charged, so there'll need to be a score sheet. Adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, court costs, cost prosecutor. Okay.
All right, you're Terry McMullen?
Yes, sir.
Would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court's the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
This is case number 22 CF 2825, State versus Terry McMullen. You want to enter a no contest plea to possession of controlled substance, meth, a third-degree felony, and possession of paraphernalia, first-degree misdemeanor. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware, did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
Sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
Sir.
You happy with the work Mr. Gibbs has done for you on your case?
Williams,
Mr. Williams.
Williams?
Yes, sir.
Court finds that plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Count one, you judge guilty. Credit for time served, $515 court costs, $100 cost of prosecution, $50 PD app fee, $100 PD fee. Count two, judge guilty. Credit for time served. And adjudicated, and I'm ordering you to stay away from meth. It'll shorten your life tremendously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Judge, I'm going to go ahead and call Vance Mitchell.
Ms. Mitchell? Okay.
Judge, I'm going to move to continue the case. Yeah, I believe it's the first time up.
828.
Thank you,
What's
Judge.
Mr. Mitchell charged with?
It's a possession of controlled substance. He also is alleged to be driving with license suspended as HTO, so felony DWLS, and possession of paraphernalia.
He offers credit time served and a $500 fine.
Credit for time served, $500 fine.
Yes, sir, but he's trying to avoid the felony adjudication on the DWLS.
I believe he's already been adjudicated on a felony driving with license suspended.
That was 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Trying to get my license back. I had my license at the time.
Yeah, well, I think it's sort of mandatory, isn't it, on those?
For adjudication.
Pardon?
I'm not sure, Your Honor, but because he's been convicted of a felony previously,
Well-
it's going to be an adjudication. I'll leave that offer open until 8/28, but after that,
Why don't we check on that? I don't want him to lose his license if he doesn't have to. I mean, but
I think adjudication is required on a DUI,
I thought it is.
but on DWLS, I'm not aware of it being required.
Y'all check on that, and
Oh.
why don't we bring him back? Don't we have court July 6th?
yes, sir.
We do, Judge.
Can you check on that for, were you in front of me down in Fort Walton Beach Courthouse? No?
3 years ago.
You were?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, well, why don't we bring him back July 6th, see about that, see what you can figure out.
All right, Judge.
I remember you, and I may have some, if I don't have discretion on it, I have to adjudicate, but if I do have some discretion, I'll consider it, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, July 6th.
And I'm gonna bring the prescription for the possession of controlled substance. I have a prescription
Well,
for that.
talk to your
Yeah,
attorney.
bring that to me, because that is
It's on the database. Nobody can't pull it up and look at it, so
But just,
I'll bring it.
I understand, I remember your case, it seemed like you had some mitigation. You're following me around to different courthouses. You
I'm
don't,
trying to follow you
you don't do that. Try to stay,
I'm not
try to stay out of trouble. I remember you from Fort Walton and said there were some things that were a little bit different about your case. I thought, just work with Mr. Williams, see if y'all can get it straightened out, okay? All right.
6.
Yeah, July 6th.
What time?
Okay, we recall that case.
Oscar Moody?
Mr. Moody,
Yeah, he's leaning against the wall. We'll talk to him a little while.
is Oscar here? Moody?
He was here earlier, Judge. I spoke
Call
to
him back in
earlier.
just a few
Mr.
minutes.
Moody? Oscar Moody? Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I'm sorry. I see who I was talking to. I guess I've got the wrong
Are
name.
you going to get a double capias on somebody?
That's who I'm thinking of, is William Moody.
Why don't we've been going for an hour and a half, why don't we take a 20-minute recess? How many inmates we got to do? 30? Who are all these, are y'all represented by a poet defender out here? Why are y'all not seeing these people? I mean, are they here for pleas or contempt? I mean, What does that mean?
Judge, I'm sorry, I don't know if you're, were you?
I'm just asking, have y'all talked to
I
these
have-
people for?
I have office days every Tuesday. Set them on other days if, as needed. A lot of these folks have been in communication with me by phone or something of that nature, for whatever reason we're not in the office, and so I have to.
All right, we'll
we'll
take a 20-minute break and see what we can do about getting some of these resolved. Okay, thank y'all. 20-minute recess.
All rise, please.